modern women, we are all wolves in sheep's clothing. We disguise our ruthless nature through an outward show of innocence, kindness, playfulness, and fun. And then once we get what we want, the facade drops and our true women ways.
If a man is always there for you, don't confuse consistency with weakness. When you call, he shows up. When you text, he replies. When you need him, he's present. That's not luck. That's commitment. A man like that isn't available because he has nothing going on. Yes. He has a life. He just chooses you. Right. And a man who chooses you consistently is a man most people lose and regret later. Yeah.
Whenever I'm talking to a man and things are getting like cutesy and giddy and we're smitten, I just remember to tell myself that this is one-sided and only I'm feeling that, and everything he's saying is completely normal. And it's I can feel happy in the moment, and it can be cute, and I can know that it's not real. And that's how I feel about men.
Modern women do things and they say things that cause a man to check out. They act in a certain way, they behave in a certain way that makes a man step back and be like, I don't know if I should share that with her.
This is what I do, man. I'm really a master at getting rejected. I love getting rejected. Excuse me, can I pay for your phone number? No, thank you. I'm sorry for being ugly. This is what I do. I'm a master at this, y'all. Oh yeah, it's more right here. Oh, excuse me, miss. I go around Miami getting rejected. Can I get your phone number? Can I pay for your phone number? No. Can I get down on my knees for your phone number? No. I'm sorry for being ugly. All right, thank you though. This is crazy, bro.
Boy, your eyes are like sapphires. Gee, that's pretty corny though, huh?
No, not at all.
Is she beautiful? Wow. I'll go up to her and I'll say, it looks gorgeous. The most beautiful of.
I owe my life to you, my darling.
I couldn't live without you, Robin.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
The woman that's going to end up being single forever is the one that hates being accountable for the things that they've caused in a relationship. The moment they're confronted by their man about something they've done that he didn't appreciate or like, rather than accepting accountability and saying, hey, I'm sorry, we'll work on this together, we'll grow together. Instead, she'll either one, blame him for being the reason why she did what she did, or two, what she'll do is she'll acknowledge his complaint. Rather than accepting accountability, she wants to then bring up something her partner did, whether it be current or in the past, that upset her, to try and shift the dynamic and blame and now make him feel like he has to be accountable for something that is completely unrelated to the circumstance in front of him.
And another thing that modern women do is, well, you know, I want you to be open and honest and transparent and vulnerable with me. But when I decide I don't want to tell you something, well, I don't have to, and that's optional for me.
Stop trying to show Andreina as being like the one with the big crush and just yearning for him. She does, I think she's open to it. Sure, he is an attractive man, but girl, have you seen her? I think she is very solid and you know, herself as well. But it's every single time it's Chris is yeah, she definitely likes you, man. I mean, she's just waiting for you to be ready. No. She's just open to it, and actually open to saying that she's open to it. God forbid a girl thinks that a man that is flirting with her and all up on her and you know, whatever, wants her.
I think she's got a lot of men knocking on her door, and like they were saying before, Drake, come get your girl.
I saw on Instagram that said that men have lost the art of yearning. No one yearns anymore. And I thought it was so funny and kind of true, honestly, because we live in such a world of convenience with dating apps, with the way that technology is so integrated in our life and our lifestyles, that we don't have to really work for shit anymore. Even using AI and ChatGPT in my job, I'm okay, when was the last time I actually used a brain cell to think about something critically? So that's whatever, I digress, but my point is yeah, I guess we live in a world of convenience, and when it comes to dating and relationships, we're so quick to just whoop, on to the next. Nobody be yearning for anyone anymore.
You know, these modern women continue to say, oh, well, we don't need men. And then when a man steps back and goes and does his own thing, because he ain't waiting hand and foot on you, then you, where'd you go? I went to go mind my business. That's where I went.
Avoidant men are toxic. They are selfish. They are cold. If your mind's an avoidant, run. You see that everywhere. And honestly, it makes me sad. Because avoidant isn't bad. It's an attachment style. Some people feel safe with closeness. Avoidants feel safe with distance. They pull away not because they don't care, but because closeness feels dangerous. Most just struggle with emotions, their own and other people's. If you're with one, it's hard. You probably feel anxious or confused. And maybe you have an anxious attachment. The one that chases love to feel safe. At first, it's magic. Each gives the other what they're missing. But soon, the anxious one clings. The avoidant runs. Still, these relationships can work when both stop blaming each other and start healing together.
To a certain degree, I have an issue with men or women who put women in a position where they can look stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, I would never have a woman come up on my show and say something dumb. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, see, you're dumb. See, you're this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to help her. I'm going to put her in a position where, first of all, that didn't make no sense. How about we do it that way? And I'm going to treat her with care. Now, when I'm talking to just women as a whole, I'm going to be like, see, y'all pookie pickers. And, you know, y'all are loser choosers. Y'all stop dating these pookies.
Loser choosers?
Yeah, a lot of
I love it. First of all, you need to wrap that up in a guide. How to no longer be a loser chooser.
You know, a lot of these modern women want princess treatment. They want a man to give them a good life, but they not really giving a man anything to look forward to. And so at some point in time, you're going to have a breaking point where a man is like, man, I'm not being appreciated for anything. And he's just going to move on.
Once you're fully content in your singleness, then God will bring you your person.
Didn't you meet your husband in the 8th grade?
Well, yeah, but
okay.
Girl, you just gotta stop looking. Then you'll find your husband.
Girl, you met your husband at your church's singles night.
Once you just truly fall in love with God, then he'll send you your husband.
You know, it's funny you say that because weren't you and your husband super lukewarm when you guys first met?
Girl, you better just enjoy your singleness. The things I'd do to be single again.
So you want to divorce your husband?
What? No, I would never do that.
Okay, so you wish you were never married to your husband?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So what are you saying?
Girl, marriage is really hard. You are not missing out.
I mean, you kind of married a walking red flag, so...
You just gotta stop desiring marriage so much. When you stop wanting it, then God will send him.
No, dude, you're so right. Let me just flip off my desire switch and...
Men should know their worth just as much as a woman. You have to understand you have value here. You are just as important to this relationship as she is. So just as you need to give to her, she needs to give to you. And I think more importantly, you have to get to a point where you are not afraid if she walks away from you. Men, especially good men, get caught up in the fear of losing her, that they do everything in their power to keep her, not realizing that now, rather than losing her, you're losing yourself. Here's the crazy thing. In that dynamic, you're still gonna lose her. Your lack of self-worth, your lack of self-respect becomes unattractive to her. Now, if you don't see your value, she ain't seeing it neither. If you have low self-worth, you need to build yourself up. That's where you gotta get to work. Gotta start making some things happen. Give women something to respect about you. Being a man does not garner respect. You have to be a man with vision, a man with plan, a man that's about something.
It honestly seems like the way a lot of these modern women talk, they've never even really truly been around a man. They're making these demands. They're saying what a man should and shouldn't be. You know, and some of them, they do make sense. But there's a lot of them to where you're like, where'd you even get that from?
Women feel more comfortable with insecure men. Because, let's just be honest, insecure men are just going to build up a woman more. Like, they're just going to lift a woman up just a little bit more than a confident man. So when a woman meets a confident, driven, calm man, she doesn't know how to approach him. She doesn't, because she's used to insecure men that don't know how to talk to her, men that are, trying to prove they're masculine. A true masculine man is tied to his presence. not anything else. Not money, not a car, not an outfit, not anything or anybody else but his presence. That is the most masculine trait you can have as a man, is walking into a room and immediately having a presence.
What a lot of these modern women don't really understand is that no man owes you anything. If you made a silly decision, you might have to deal with this silly consequences. Just straight up. Accountability. Man doesn't have to come and rescue you, so to speak.
I was frustrated with the idea of like going on a date with a guy and not knowing like what his intentions were, and not knowing, okay, is he looking for a girlfriend, or is he just looking for someone for tonight? Is he just looking for a celebrity to put on his Instagram? Like, what is he looking for? What are his intentions? Like, how do I know I can trust him? How do I know that I can let these walls down? How do I know that I can be honest and vulnerable with him? And Aaron answered all those questions by being honest and open and vulnerable with me from the beginning. It was on that phone call, it was the next girl I date, I want to marry her. That's where my heart is, and that's what I'm focused on. And so that meant a lot to me, and that kind of set the precedent of our courtship and of our relationship, that we were going to be very intentional with each other. When he said that, it didn't so much feel like, oh, now I have to marry him, but it just let me know, okay, this is a guy that knows what he wants, and he wants to be someone's husband, and I want to treat him with the utmost respect, so that even if he is not my husband,
do not know how lucky they are when a girl actually likes them. Like, do you know how many unanswered texts I have in my phone from men who I take literal days, if not weeks, to respond to? Do you know that the fact I'm responding to you the same business day is a privilege? I don't think they do. I don't think they know.
And that perfectly personifies the thought process of the modern woman. Grandiosity, egotism, a lack of empathy, and pride. Notice how she said business days. The modern woman and escorts are becoming the same thing. And it's not going to change if we continue to allow these games. Fellas, we need to start a no tolerance movement. Cut communication with no explanation. She sending mixed signals, cut it. Took too long to text back, cut it. If they say maybe or we'll see, cut it. Remove the incentive from the environment, then the behavior cannot exist. Become exempt. One less pawn, one less sucker, one less simp.
A lot of men just decide that, once again, the juice isn't really worth the squeeze. Modern women continue to put themselves in a plethora of situations and expect a man to get them out of it. And when you have to show up being Superman, or Spider-Man, or some sort of hero in the chaos that everybody made, how do you think a man is going to respond over time?
I 1000% hear you. You're playing devil's advocate. I've been hearing a lot from men that they think that women take them for granted, women are just using them, etc., etc. They wish women would approach them. I've also heard from everybody, men and women, we're all tired of the dating apps, and we need to go out into the wild, if you will, and meet others. As much as I get that your comment was just like a joke, I'm being sincere, and I think below your and others' jaded hearts, myself included, we all wish we could meet somebody out in the wild. We can spoof this TikTok, we can make jokes about it, we can make jokes about my voice, whatever, I don't care. But the reality is we all want to know the answer. Where are single women and men on Saturdays during the day? I'm going to take all the responses that I got on that TikTok and I'm going to make a spreadsheet of where the men are. But this one's for you women. Let's help the boys out. Where are we on Saturdays from approximately 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.? I'm at a Pilates or HIIT class, then I'm doing approximately 2 hours of work or errands, and then I'm either getting lunch/brunch with a friend from around 12 to 3 or 4, or watching football in a dive bar and having a couple beers. That's where I am. Where are you?
Some men will go to war with life before they ask a woman for help. Some women don't just help, they change. They remind you, they bring it up later, they move funny in arguments, throw it back in your face. And even when they don't say it out loud, he knows his woman. He knows if she's the type to start thinking less of him the moment she has to step in. And at that point, it's no longer support. It's leverage. And that's when true colors show. So a man with self-respect, he would rather struggle than ever put himself in that position. He would rather work himself to the bone to the ground, ask a friend, or figure it out any other way before he goes to his woman and asks for help and risk being seen as less than a man. It's like he knows he's wrong.
Why do intelligent men stay single?
Because they're very logical in their communication and they don't know how to create emotions within a woman on a first date. Now, as a man, if you're very logical, you have a good job, you run your business, you are very concise in your speech. And you've learned that what you say is evaluated based on its merits. How valid is it and how much value does it add to the conversation? So you think long and hard about it. You overthink, which is an asset in this one context. But the problem is on a date, it's not about the factual accuracy of the information that you supply it with. It's about how humorous you can be, how fun, how playful, how certain you can be when you communicate. It's much better on a date to say something that's absolute nonsense with total certainty than something that's factually correct, but in an uncertain way. Now, obviously, that only applies on a first date in a playful way. You're not supposed to lie. But certainty is the currency on a first date.
Excuse me? I ain't gonna lie, I thought like you were pretty.
You're ugly as fuck. Get out of here.
The whole time he was like staring at me and he did not say one word. And I'm just like, are you gonna say anything? Like,
Hey, excuse me? I thought like you were pretty. No! What the?
Oh, single men, why are you don't pursue anymore? What's up?
Hey, excuse me? I thought you were pretty and I was wondering if I could get like your Instagram.
I feel like it's so rare that men shoot their shot in public anymore, or like even just say hi like a normal human being. I feel like men are so intimidated now and hiding behind social media. They don't know how to talk to girls in real life anymore.
Hey, you dropped something there. This.
no thanks.
Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women, so they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk, and women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid. To get rejected.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Rose, and let me know if you agree with me on this. A lot of Australian women now ask, why don't men approach us? Well, honestly, it's because we told them not to. We said it was creepy. We embarrassed them. We rejected them, treated them like they were disposable. Men are too scared nowadays for those reasons. And now we're acting confused. Why don't men want long-term relationships? Same answer. Because we pushed them away. We raised the bar higher and higher. Money, status, looks, lifestyle. We basically told them to step up or piss off, while offering them far less in return. We expected effort, attention, money, but didn't always match it with respect and appreciation. So men adapted. They stopped approaching. They stopped chasing. Some of them have just checked out of relationships with Australian women altogether. You can't tell men to leave you alone and then be surprised when they actually do.
Look, Instagram, they decided to come up with the bright idea to make a women's only nightclub. Look how lame this look. Ain't nobody in that mother throwing the money or buying the bottles, is it? I don't know who came up with this stupid idea. This is how the club would look if dudes ain't in there buying nothing or simping. Cause which homegirl finna keep ordering bottles for everybody all the time by herself? This tells a lot about clubs right now, cause you can boast about how much you hate men and we ain't. And don't get me wrong, it'll be a couple of women in there buying bottles and throwing. But you know, all women don't just like women. Some of them females that like women be liking dudes way more. And you know females like to shake their ass and tell a dude he broke. And if ain't none of us start to tell that to, motherfuckers gonna get like this after about an hour and 30 minutes. I bet you all the bottle girls just standing by the bar. Even the studs and lesbians ain't in there, and they ain't finna buy no drinks for you and your homegirl if ain't none of y'all giving them no play. I don't know not one stud that's finna buy you something and you ain't giving her no play. They ain't stupid. They are not about to break bread for you and your homegirls. Cause unlike studs, they not finna act like they got some money to a lot of motherfuckers. It's either you finna with them and find out they got money or not. They ain't finna just be flashy like we is. They rock totally different. A stud gonna scoop one of them ladies up out of her and lead this motherfucker.
You might hate me for saying this, but I cringe every time I hear a woman say I'm celibate. Why? Because you're putting a word curse on your marriage. And I believe Christian women have been mislabeling themselves for years. This was me too. You're not celibate, you're abstinent. And the difference could be blocking your blessing. Celibacy is a lifetime vow to never marry. Abstinence is waiting until marriage. So for example, when nuns take a vow of celibacy, they're promising God that they'll never have husbands or kids. Their husband is Jesus, and they're dedicating their singleness to the kingdom service forever. But sis, you are not a nun, okay? To be honest, you can't really be celibate until marriage because it's kind of contradictory. It's like saying I'm divorced until I get married. And just remember that the Bible says that singleness is a gift to some, not all. Most people on earth are called to marriage. But when you keep saying I'm celibate, you're in a way speaking a curse over your future, because what you're essentially saying is that you have chosen permanent singleness. So instead, let's start saying I'm abstinent and preparing for marriage. A little bit better, right? My husband and I, we guide women from single to wifey with faith and strategy. Comment the word boot camp to stop questioning what's wrong with me and step into confidence.
Boy, you did what a man's supposed to do. How you gonna feel bad about being a man? Most can't do that. Nigga, my granddaddy built the house from Paul Lumber Wood Yard from the ground up, stealing wood. A man is supposed to get he get after marriage, the family, they play on daddy.
OG, you say take the you've been saying that for years.
Homie, listen, all men, James, every man before us took the
Man, it's hard to take the
You can't be a man if you can't take the because men's get over in life, brother. The men don't get their flowers till they're in the casket in the graveyard. Real men have never been patted on the back. They don't get congratulated. The basketball players do. But the who get up and go to work every day, make the sacrifices that you made to get over to make sure, nigga, I ain't celebrating. Laugh at them and broke down their cars and truck.
Real shit.
But you laughing at them.
Yeah.
And that's you though. The man take pride in getting old. Nigga, all men get ugly when they get old. Just like the woman get ugly. They get wrinkled, they lose hair. It's the little boy want to be like his OG and be young forever. Every old man from Gregory, Red Fox, everybody got a bald spot, nigga. Everybody beard get raggedy. All teeth go to losing. Life is about losing, man. You're gonna lose your hair, you're gonna lose your teeth, you're gonna lose your sight, you're gonna lose your mother. So you better learn how to lose like a man, nigga. And bite down and don't cry to nobody about what you going through. Every you got over. Look at the divorce courts.
Yeah, that boy Ben Affleck.
But it feels good when you get over being a man. Swear, dude.
And one thing we need to normalize 2026.
I can assure y'all we don't need to normalize this, but here we are. Viewer discretion's advised.
If you a man and you not paying for a girl hair, nails, lashes, anything, when she tell you that she's getting it done and you're not paying, don't ask to see it, okay? Don't ask to see it. Don't ask me no videos. Ask FaceTime when you've done nothing. If you're not sending that money through, mind your business. Thank you.
Man, which one of y'all niggas didn't send her the money, bro? Which one of you niggas did not send her the money, bro? Because now she online getting mad at us and making a PSA to some shit we have nothing to do with. Because that's all that happened. Whatever man she talking to did not send her the money, and he asked for a picture of her nails or whatever after she got it done because she had to pay for it herself. So now she's upset, and in order to make herself feel better, she's going to make it a general thing instead of just talking to him directly. And I'll take it a step further. If you got to come online and get the person you talking to act right, yeah, you ain't who you think you are to them. Because if it's one thing men enjoy doing for the women that they're with and that they actually care for, it's taking care of them, for sure. But also, you got to be quite dense to believe that you having to show that you got your nails done requires compensation. Like, y'all get online and show people all kind of shit for free. But the man that you are talking to or you consider to be a romantic interest has to pay to see the things you show the world for free. That's crazy. But what else do I expect from a flat purse breezy? What else? The brokies will always find a way to try and shame somebody in order to give them money. They will always try to find ways to manipulate you into believing that you're supposed to pay for things for a woman to, you're not supposed to do a goddamn thing. She's supposed to pay for it herself because it's her responsibility. That is not your wife, bro. It's not your responsibility. But you know what? Knowing a lot of them, they ain't gonna listen to shit that I'm saying because I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep the change.
Would you prefer your son to date a woman with 40 bodies or a woman with 4 bodies? Does body count matter? You first.
I feel like it shouldn't count because anything prior to you establishing a relationship with that person shouldn't count against you. That's being judgmental.
Okay.
So, what? So I feel like anything prior to you building with that person should hold no weight, honestly.
For both genders? For both genders.
For both genders, both ways.
Okay, what if the woman has like 100 bodies?
That's her choice. She wants to display
Right.
she had 100 bodies.
No,
You're not going to know that.
No, we know that's your choice.
Well,
We get
let's say
that. This though, let's say if you do know, and let's say you have a son, right?
I have a son. Yes.
Would you prefer your son to date a woman with 40 bodies or a woman with 4 bodies?
That's entirely up to my son.
No, but you're his mother. What would you? I'm sure you have preferences for your son.
I mean, I do have preferences for my son, but at the end of the day, he's going to choose what he wants.
No one's saying. Of course, if I'll be like, you know what? I can choose McDonald's, but what would you prefer that a human being choose? Maybe something healthy. So let me give me your preferences. What would you prefer your son to date? A woman with 40 bodies or a woman with 4?
I would prefer my son to date someone with probably less bodies. But that doesn't define a person, actually. That doesn't define who they are. Like, the amount of bodies they have doesn't.
Well, that isn't the question.
Right, but I'm saying it's all like, it's a gray area.
Well, no, it isn't gray. The question is super, super simple. So you just said that you would prefer your son to date the woman with 4.
Yeah, less bodies is fine.
Got it. Yep. 4 bodies. There's always a reason to it. You can say, well, it really doesn't matter. Well, it does matter because you prefer the lesser rather than the higher.
You know, y'all have to start realizing that a lot of things that y'all are asking for, a man's not really going to continue to do. I want a man that's generous. I want a man that's chivalrous. I want a man that values my opinion, that sees me as an equal. If you're always nagging and complaining, how are you going to be seen as an equal? You're going to be seen as a child. You're going to be seen as a toddler because that's what you're acting like.